everybody. It is Sunday, September 29th, 2019, and I am JoyZ Sorrow, your host, JoyZ Sorrow, here on the JoyZ Sorrow channel. Let's take our morning hit, shall we? So today I am smoking, if you're curious about what I'm smoking, Louis the 13th. So that is my strain of flower for today. And today for the dabs is going to be, once again, the Flavor brand. And I picked up some more gelato. And then I just want to make something clear. These are actually half grams, not full grams. As far as I understand it, this brand, at least in these jars, doesn't sell full grams. I know I've seen bigger jars of theirs that sell full grams, but these usually go for about $15 for a half gram. And I actually like the half gram option, at least the cheap half gram option, because I've seen places that sell half grams at about $20, $25, and that seems a little overpriced and ridiculous to me. But anyways. Alright, I should now go ahead and check up on the chat, and it looks like nobody has actually posted anything. So let me go ahead and just make sure that the chat is actually working, or that the stream is actually working. Well, it says I'm live. Yeah, everything's looking good so far, so okay. Says one watching. Okay, well, we got one watching. Hello, one person lurking. How are you doing? So, few things I can talk about today. There's going to be a little bit of change as far as certain things that I do on the channel. The aquarium update videos are now going to be pushed to Mondays. The reason being is Sunday is usually the day that I spent doing all the major aquarium maintenance. So Sundays I do water changes to all the tanks. I remove stuff and add stuff. For example, if I have dying plants, I'll take out the dying plants and replace them with new ones if I have replacements. Let's say, for example, with the beta tanks, there are Indian almond leaves and small dry leaves in there that I use for the tannins, for pH stability, and to pretty much help them prevent them from getting sick. In Mally's case, it obviously doesn't work, but it is what it is. Usually I remove those every 2 weeks, maybe every 3. I noticed with the bigger leaves, those actually degrade faster, or biodegrade faster than the smaller leaves do. So smaller leaves I could probably leave in for another week, and then I have to remove them. So yeah, it's just kind of a pain in the ass to do that. Work on the community tank on the outside, and then film that, then go and do all the other tanks, then film that. Just a pain in the ass altogether. So I'd rather just do everything the next day when the tanks are all nice and clean. Now, if there's ever like something that goes on in the tanks, like if I lose a fish or something, I might make a video on that day to let you know. Or for example, if new babies are born, I'll obviously make a video that day or the next day letting you know there's new babies. I am also considering actually doing all my aquarium stuff on a separate channel. I haven't 100% decided yet. It's just I don't want I guess, how would I put it? I wouldn't want the politics and the stuff that I usually talk about in this channel to get in the way of people who are just really interested more in the aquatics part, of my channel, rather than the politics or my opinion. So I am considering moving all the aquarium stuff to its own channel. Excuse me. And we're actually, wow, it is actually pretty cool this morning. Woke up to 58 degrees. Incredible. I'm enjoying that. So, don't know how many people are watching. So, if people are watching, I'd just like to say good morning. How was your day today? And I guess I'll see your messages in the live chat if you're around. The next thing I'd like to talk about is my latest acquisition as far as knives are concerned. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure, I mean, if you were on Mad Max live stream last night, you would have heard, but I got myself another kukri. And this kukri is the K-Bar kukri, or K-Bar kukri machete. K-Bar, as far as I know, makes two versions of this one and what they call the combat machete, combat kukri, which basically it's just this kukri with a guard. So I went with this one. This one's pretty affordable. They go for about $50 on Amazon. Even the store where I used to work at, we sold it for about $50. And there is a lot of things I like, and there's one in particular I don't, but it has to do more with the ergonomics and design rather than functionality. So one thing for sure I really like here is the sheath. It's kind of like a leather slash Condura sheath. I mean, there's definitely leather on it, but it's wrapped with this Condura nylon as well. The straps here are leather. The belt loop is leather. And there are rivets and O-rings, you know, and I guess plastic D-ring maybe. It's not metal, but it's definitely a really hard plastic on that. And that allows you to actually secure it more to your leg in a certain area where you want it. You know, the belt holders, just to hold it onto it, this will make sure that it's much more tightly in one place. You know, you can just wrap a lanyard or, you know, Velcro around it. And now let's actually get to the blade. So, 2 snaps. You see the blade easily comes out thanks to this cut on the sheath. And there we go. It is a beautiful protected black blade. I want to say it's between 10 and 11 inches, maybe up to 11.5 inches. The metal used is 1085 or 1090. It's 1085 or 1095 carbon steel. I'm pretty sure though it's 1085. It has a beautiful protective coating on it. No defects, no spots missing on the coating whatsoever. It is also hollow ground. What does that mean? Basically, it's much more easier to sharpen than a traditional kukri. As much as I love traditional kukris very much, they are not easy to sharpen. You will usually have to either make a specialty sharpening tool or acquire a different tool to use as a specialty to sharpen it, like I've had to with the folding kitchen knife sharpener, and you know, using small dowels that have certain grit sandpaper on them. And yeah, that's really the only way you're gonna for the most part sharpen a traditional Nepalese kukri. The logos are on there. There it is, K-Bar, made in Taiwan. The item number, which is 1249. So if you just basically look up K-Bar, that item number, it should bring up the kukri machete. And then we got the handle. Now the handle is pretty much all around K-Bar. It is a K-Bar style handle in the sense of the materials. However, the difference here is there's this bulge right here and as you can say, a hook at the end of the pommel here. There is a hole here for a lanyard, so that's good. I mean, it's technically not a guard, but there's somewhat of a guard there. You know, it doesn't really, for someone like me with big hands, it's not going to really protect a lot of my hand, but it is something. Now, this is the only part of the knife that I don't like too much. but this is again more due to aesthetics and what I am used to. And since I've accustomed myself to the traditional kukris and their handles, which is more of a hourglass shape than this shape here, it is a little bit uncomfortable right now. I'm pretty sure though I can get over it pretty quick, just swinging it around a little bit, but it doesn't present any real problem for me not to use it. Now this thing is sharp. It comes very sharp from the factory, which is something I like. Now the other cool thing is the top part right here has been beveled, so that you could put an edge on it if you wanted to. I might do it with this one in particular. Not 100% sure yet, but this is the only kukri that I have that has this, so I might actually do that. And this would actually make a great kukri for both cutting and thrusting, because at least with the edge on the other side, it gives it more possibilities of actually stabbing. Kukris by nature are not stabbing weapons. They are choppers, they are cutters. However, if you go and look back into Mocha, stop it. If you go back and look into Nepalese culture or the Gurkha warriors, you will notice that there are mentions of them using these to stab. However, it is just a bit awkward because when you I don't have enough room to do it here. But when you hold a kukri blade straight out, the point, you almost hold it out like a handgun, and the point lines up with your wrist. So, sorry, there's a lot of people passing by right now, so I just want to make sure I don't look threatening to anybody. So, it's pretty straight line of sight, but it is a little funky because, again, you're holding it like a handgun and trying to thrust it like a knife. So that is a bit of adjustment to do. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in its sheath, and then you clip on one right there. Second one clips right there. Now I do believe I only need to take one clip off to actually remove the kukri. However, it goes in slower, so I do have to take that. It comes out slower, so I do have to take that into thought. Okay, but yeah, I was able to get this with the credit that Amazon gave me after the issues I was having with the cold steel hand axes, which I will update you guys on that in a moment. And I ordered this and a bunch of other stuff, and I'm happy. I'm actually pretty happy that I got this. For years I've seen this, I've held this, but I don't know why I just never bought myself one. Probably because I couldn't really make up my mind what I wanted for my first kukri at the time, and then I just ended up getting a cold steel kukri machete, thinking, you know what, it's affordable, it works. As far as combat, I don't think I'm going to be in any type of hand-to-hand or man-on-man combat, with a big knife at the moment. Either way, it could hold an edge, so that means it could hold its own. And I was just satisfied enough with that. Then I started getting into the traditional kukris, and when I got my first traditional kukri, it was just, oh man, it was just it's a whole new world. It's a whole new world when it comes to knives. But I'm pretty happy that I have this now. So I finally own a legit K-bar kukri. This is my only, as we know it here in the U.S., like the standard soldier knife. It just seems it's more on the generic scale than it is the practical. I mean, I understand the practicalities of a K-bar knife, I really do. But it's kind of like Glocks. I don't really like Glocks either. Why? It's just everybody and their fucking mother has a Glock. It's kind of the same with a K-bar. Everybody and their fucking mother has to have a K-bar. And so I never really got interested in holding on to too long to a K-bar. I had one. I had a Marine Corps one, It was nice. It was one of the ones with the wood handles and the brown leather sheath. Um, but it just wasn't the knife for me. I realized really quick and young that the fixed blades that I liked usually had tanto tips on them, which is, as a matter of fact, I have it right here. One of the reasons I still hold on to the Cold Steel, the Cold Steel Tanto Light. Here it is. It's been on this bag since I've gone to the slabs. Has not left. Still in pristine condition. About once a month, every other month, I'll wipe the blade just to make sure that it's doing fine. However, it is a stainless steel blade, so there's not much for me to worry about. Shouldn't rust. Might bend if I put it in an area the wrong way, but for the most part, shouldn't give me any problems while it just stays there, as long as it's not underwater, it's not in the ocean. That would be the only place I would worry about. And now that's another thing too with the high carbon steel blades, which, as you saw, the kukri has a really good coating on it. Cold steel machetes have a decent coating on it, at least the ones that I've had. I'm a little concerned right now that Cold Steel might have gone full board on their coatings as far as minimizing the use of it. All right, let me get into the Cold Steel axes and tell you guys what's going on. So, for those of you who don't know, for about a week, I was having a problem getting two Cold Steel axes, a Rifle Hawk and the Norse Hawk. These are the Tomahawk little axes, the Viking one and the Rifleman's one. Whatever. Let's just skip over that. So I went through Amazon to try to get them exchanged, and I was having a bunch of issues. So I decided to contact Cold Steel. One of the Cold Steel customer service reps told me basically to come back to the shop and they'll swap it. So I just did that. I took them. I drove over to Ventura. Cold Steel headquarters is located in Ventura. So I took them in. They swapped them out. During the swap out process, I ended up talking to the guy who helped me through the email, and he explained to me that just more recently, the recent batches of the Cold Steel axes were not going to have that really thick, glossy black coating that they had before. And even like the Viking hand axes or the silverish axes, they weren't going to have that, thick silver coating anymore. They were just going to be unfinished and raw, or the raw finish look. I do understand why they're going that route, and as they always explained to me, it's a lot of people requested and complained about the coating, and they said that they'd rather just have unfinished axes. Unfortunately, a bad consequence has come up because of that. Cold Steel minimized the amount of coating that they put on some of these axes to the point where it was really just more of a paint job than a real coating. Some of them don't even have coatings at all. They have this little protective sleeve, a little piece of plastic that's put on the edge to protect it from rusting. What I believe is happening is that as these things are coming from overseas in a container, that piece of plastic is picking up condensation. Also, it's that type of plastic where it's not so thick but kind of thick, and it kind of has like a residue on it. When you look at the plastic in a certain light, it kind of has a bit of a rainbowy residue. I'm not sure. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. But that's what these plastics are like, and I've seen these plastics used for other stuff before, and you gotta be careful with these plastics. If you're not, they leave a film on everything that they're pretty much around. And I think what happened was, as they started to condensate, that film basically mixed in with the water and left hard rust stains on the axe heads. Even going through the minimum of protective coating they have. So I've decided that I don't really want to rob the people I'm giving it to the opportunity to customize it themselves, but I can't just hand them stuff like that. So today I'm going to take off the axe heads and I'm going to just strip them of everything they have, including the rust. So today, after this, I'm going to go to Home Depot, pick up some thinner, some rust remover, and I'm going to let them probably just sit in the thinner for a day, and then I'm going to let them sit in the rust remover, for an hour or so, just to get that rust off. I will then either do one or two things. Most likely, I'll just put a spray-on protective coating, and the reason again I want to do that is I don't want to rob them of their right to customize these things if that's what they intend to do, and I don't want to use anything drastic that would be too much of a pain in the ass for them to take off. The second thing I can do, but at that point would be a lot harder for them to modify the axe heads themselves, would be to just blue them in the same manner that I did the cold steel Viking hand axe that I have. It will darken the metal, but it will change the color, but it will protect the metal a lot better than the coating that it has now. So either one of those two routes I'm going to go for. And that kind of makes me feel bad as well, because I've already gifted an axe to somebody out where I'm going to go gift these to, and I didn't really do any work on that axe. So again, because I didn't want to rob the person the experience if they wanted to do that, so I kind of feel bad, because it's like I feel like I'm putting more work into other people's gifts than the ones that are already given. It's just, I don't know, I feel like I'm being unfair. But anyways, so that's the situation with the cold steel axes. It is what it is. I just can't be so fucking pissed about it anymore. Amazon, corrected the situation. Cold Steel tried to correct the situation. What they will be doing is, they're hopefully this week or so, they're going to have a meeting at Cold Steel, and I hope that they're going to go back to adding that protective coating to their axes, because if I know anything about business, having too many returns is a bad thing. Having to exchange a lot of product is a bad thing. There's got to be a loss at some point, and it's just, they're going to have to decide what is a bigger loss, the coating or the, all the money you're going to lose in logistics from having items returned and then reshipping and return and reshipping, and it's insane. But alright guys, let's go ahead and take another hit, because I'm not even high. Still tastes good. Still tastes good. So, aside from hitting just this, I got some dab that I gotta do. Let me go ahead and take care of that. So, as always, I got the trusty big torch. Now, there's a fucking downfall to these torches, though. Right now that it's starting to get cold in the mornings, when I get a flame going, flame's really low. Also, the clicker. Oh, there you go. Okay, the clicker actually works this time. Sometimes the clicker won't work in the cold. So, and what is the clicker? The clicker is the auto spark. So, sorry for the quiet. I'm just heating the tool up. Now, I'll go ahead and see, maybe I can check how many people. Oh, there's 4 people watching. I got 4 lurkers. So let me see. I'll refresh chat. Maybe people have been talking and I'm not seeing something properly. Maybe. What? No, that's not what I wanted. Go back. Switch to live. Thank you. What's going on here? But, oh, it's a Parks and Recreations van. I'm near a park, obviously, if you guys didn't realize it. But I'm at one end of a park. This park is pretty big where I'm at. Let's see. Sorry, I kind of turned that off because I didn't know who that was. Let me relight this again. Yeah, this is a little harder to heat up right now. It's cool. But it'll still do the job. So, funny thing, or at least kind of a funny thing I've noticed. Bitch Digger isn't making videos anymore. Bitch Digger doesn't be seeming to be live streaming anymore either. Or maybe he's just switched his schedule around, switched his live stream times. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm wondering what the fuck is going on with that. Then I know Tallywhacker seems to picked up the flag there, and I noticed he started streaming more. Gelato. Gotta love that gelato. Gotta love that gelato. Oh, it's pretty strong. Remember, right? Gelato is the strongest of the flavor brand dabs that they make. I think it's 81%. It's either 78 or 81% THC. No cannabinoids. Trying to avoid. Well, I try to avoid the CBD when I'm trying to get high. Like when I'm just trying to actually get high, I avoid it. If you guys notice, anything with CBD, THC content usually drops. So, yeah, I like my THC, so usually pick the thing with the lowest CBD, which isn't really a good idea. Should try to have some CBD in it, get the health benefits of it. But it is what it is. Now, let's see, what else can we talk about? Oh yeah. I think there is something we can talk about. And a lot of things are done in warehouses these days. A lot of things are manufactured in factories these days. But I have a question for you. Who the fuck makes a bull semen factory? Yeah, who the fuck makes a bull semen factory? Australia. That's who the fuck makes a bull semen factory, ladies and gentlemen. The fucking Florida of Europe had a bull semen factory. And not only do they have a bull semen factory, they had a bull semen factory blow the fuck up. Yes. An Australian bull semen factory blew the fuck up. Okay? Okay. So, let me go ahead and read this to you guys. This is from the Daily Dot. In news no one ever expected to read about, a bull semen factory in Australia caught fire on Tuesday and exploded. This isn't a fucking gag. A bull semen factory, for those wondering, is actually more of a semen storage factory. Okay, that also performs artificial insemination of cows. In this case, at least, the actual semen collecting process happened elsewhere. The explosions were caused by by the cryogenetically frozen cylinders of bull semen pressurizing due to the heat, forcing the lids off and the content out at high speeds. Oh, wow. It's bukkake on jets. The only way I could put it. Wow. Just fuck. High speeds. Yeah. The fire took 10 hours to extinguish, with the firefighters in defensive mode to protect themselves from the bull semen projectiles. Shit. Could you imagine being the poor son of a bitch having to put out this fucking fire? And not only do you have to dodge the fire, you gotta dodge bull jizz now? Oh, man. Naturally, everyone lost their minds upon hearing the news. The jokes pretty much wrote themselves. Fuck yeah, they did. So, this is from Donut Operator on Twitter. Your best firefighter dodging semen joke. Go. And then he is reposting a Newsweek tweet of massive semen explosion after blaze hits bull artificial insemination factory, firefighter forced to dodge projectiles. Alex Wood, dispatch. Yeah, we have explosion at a bull factory, firefighter. Bullshit. Dispatch. No. Semen. Okay, that was good. That was good. That was by Alex Wood on Twitter at GTP Woody. Brian Weeder from Twitter at Brian again. Maybe the real massive semen explosion at the cum factory was in our hearts this whole time. Not bad, not bad. There's sometimes I miss Twitter. Michelle Ryder XX. Bovine bukkake blast alerts. Explosion at a semen factory. Yes, that sums up my working day. There must be a porn actress or something. Oh, shit. Let's see. One more. Will's moving out, or Will Carlson. Damn, who would have thought that Skynet would go after the bull semen first? Shit. Okay. Damn. There is a big list of these fucking jokes just on this fucking article. Okay. Come on. Okay, that's pretty much the rest of the article. The article is nothing but fucking jokes about bull semen and explosions and shit. Oh man, that is fucking insane. Dude, that's gotta that has gotta be the worst day in those firefighters' lives. Imagine, not only do you have to dodge the fire, but you gotta dodge fucking bulges. Ugh, just fuck, man. Anyways, but yeah, I thought I'd share that insanity with you guys. You know, it was burned into my brain, so I just figured, yeah, you all are gonna have to suffer with me. Definitely gonna have to suffer with me, for sure. So, anyways, let me go ahead and take another hit. You know, I think I can finish this bowl right now. So. Delicious, and it actually does something. So yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but no, you know what, I was talking about it on Cause's stream, but I didn't actually say anything on video. So I found a strain of weed I don't like. It's been a little while, but it's called Sunday, and not like Sunday mornings or Sunday nights. Sunday like ice cream sundae. It was called Sunday Driver. Yeah, I didn't fucking like it. Let me put it to you this way: there was times where the weed, I would light it and smoke it. I smoked bowls that had no fucking flavor to it. It was just smoke, like light smoke. Semi-halls, cough drop kind of tiny accent to it, and that's about it. But, you know, I kind of wonder maybe it was a sativa, but it did nothing. It felt like a fucking cigarette without the hacking, pretty much. It was kind of disappointing. So I'm gonna add that to my list. I mean, if anybody out there trusts me as a source of good weed, I definitely do not approve of fucking Sunday Driver. Yeah, that's not my kind of weed. Does fucking nothing. You know, I thought it would even make me maybe a little talkative and shit, but no, it's just the fucking all substance, no soul kind of ordeal there. It's really weird. Fortunately, though, I had a alien motherfucker, and I smoked that shit, and that shit's always great. King Louis is always great. What was another one that I usually get? What was another one that I got recently that I liked? Church OG is okay. Okay, not great, but okay. And then there was recently a fucking company that I bought like prepackaged weed from. I bought a Fire OG. Fuck, I can't remember this shit. Oh well. But yeah, Sunday Driver is one I would probably recommend people steer. If you're really into just like getting high as fuck, yeah, just avoid Sunday Driver. You know, if you need stimulation, just avoid Sunday Driver, because there's no even fucking stimulation. There's none of that shit you get with this like sativa sometimes. None of it. At least not with me. So there's that. Sorry about that, guys. But man, it's pretty quiet here. But then again, it's fucking early in the morning, so I'm gonna stay on for maybe another 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna go walk the Mocha Dog, because the Mocha Dog is here with me, so she can get her walk on. And too bad I don't see anybody in the chat, man. I would have just seen what people were up. I'd like to see what people were up to. I'd like to respond to people. And according to this, it says I got 3 people watching. But I said people are just lurking today, so all good. So I'm almost ready to go to the slabs in the sense of getting my car done. Gonna go do that battery swap today, and then sometime this week, after dropping my kid off at school, I'm gonna go straight to Walmart and do an oil change there. I should do the fucking oil change myself, but I haven't fucking bought the stuff that I need to do it, like the oil wrench, the oil pan, because I don't want to buy one of those. I mean, it's a small car, but I don't want to buy one of those small oil pans either. I want to buy one of those big ass ones so I can wait for a while before I have to take that shit somewhere to dump it, or, you know, and pay whatever fine it is. I'm assuming when you fucking, you know, you take that shit somewhere, you're gonna have to pay a fine to fucking toss it. But I don't have. I mean, I have a jack that the car comes with, but I should really have either, you know, one of those rolling jacks, or at least 2 jack stands, you know. But I don't. So buying all that right now and then going to get the fucking oil and the filter and shit will cost me more than just having somebody at fucking Walmart do it. So, and it's quicker. So yeah, that's kind of my goal for this coming week, is to go get that oil change at fucking Walmart. Today I'm gonna go get this battery changed at Walmart, because I found out it does have a fucking 5-year warranty with a 3-year replacement, and I've only had it for less than 2 years, so should be able to get a new battery. I will eventually do the battery upgrade, but right now I'd rather save as much money as I can, but get the car working if I can save as much money as I can and get the car working at the same time, so I could use that money to get over to the slabs. Then why the fuck not, right? So gonna do that. Gonna have to be a little wary about clothing I take, because I mean, according to them, it's also getting really cold in the mornings over there, which I don't mind. I love the cold. I could sleep easier in the cold. Heat fucking bothers me for sleeping. I gotta be honest. Like, when the time comes that I do go out there and the summer comes, so that's why when I do plan to live out there, whether it be at Nylon, whether it be or in slabs, I gotta get there in the fall, because first thing I gotta fucking work on is getting ready for the fucking summer, you know, and the rain. So at the same time, but mainly the summer, because the summer is the one that could really fuck me up, because I really don't like heat, you know. But I like the slabs a lot, so that's how much I like the slabs. I'd be willing to try to put up with the heat, you know, to be there, live there, or near there. So, and let's see. So yeah, I'd have to get there in the fall, early winter at latest. Then again, yeah, just make sure I'm ready for the rain, but most of that time that I can work, spend it on working, getting ready for the summer. You know, setting up shade cloths and all that. If not, fucking, I prefer actual, like, solid roof on, you know, solid roof on top, solid roof first, and then a big like a cage structure where you can put just like tarps, and that's so that you have a two roof system. The tarps can be replaced as, you know, as needed. They take the brunt and the abuse, and for example, white tarps will reflect a lot of sunlight, at the same time trapping very little heat in that inside space, and then that second hard shell roof would just avoid that, you know, that heat that's trapped in there from coming in altogether. You know, setting up a swamp cooler, things like that. Another thing too, like I mentioned, one of my goals too would be to try this whole raising fish and, you know, selling them for profit kind of thing. Obviously, it's not going to make me a rich person. It's not intended to do so. I'm really doing it for fun. But if I can make some money off of it and do it in a place where I'm actually making a decent profit from it, why not? Good morning, Robert. So, and I did say it a while back, you know, betas would be one way of doing it. It's not gonna be a lot of money. There's ways to do it or not, but eventually after that, there's other avenues, other fish and whatnot I can use to make money. The process of learning how to keep fish alive too will help me going into keeping bigger fish alive, edible fish, you know, keeping things like tilapia alive, keeping things like bluegill alive, catfish alive, crawdads, lobsters, shrimp, you know. These are all things that are farmed on land in many places in many parts of the world. It's something that can be used to make, it's a skill that can be used to make profit, and if I can find a way to tap into that skill and do it, I definitely want to learn how. Yep, pretty much, Robert. You know, surprisingly enough, when I first started like studying the general area of the slabs, like doing Google Map searches and looking at all the roads, both the paved and the dirt, I also noticed that there's tilapia farms. There's aquaculture farms out there in that area in Imperial Valley. So it obviously can be done if other people are doing it. But again, these guys are doing more of a farming for food and shit. Starting out with these fancy fish. But again, that starting with the fancy fish on a small scale will teach me how to keep bigger fish alive. And who knows? Maybe maybe it turns into something. Or I could be the fish farmer in the fucking slabs. As far as like food things, because they're grow enough to actually have for food, and hell, there is one store there. Might even be able to sell a few of them off and to them, or maybe even to the buckshot, and do business locally with them and whatnot. How cool would it be for an area that rural, far away from fucking clean water, because it's kind of the truth. Fucking the Salton's dirty. Yeah, they have fucking streams and whatnot, but most of those streams are runoff. So how cool would it be for restaurants in fucking Nyland or Brawley, or hell, even Palm Desert, or to have a place, not too far off there in the desert with them, where they can access a healthy supply of fucking edible fish. Something like that. But yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go on for like 2 more minutes. Raised koi, some pattern koi. Rodney, I looked into that a while ago, but problem with koi, man, is that too many people are on that game. Too many people are on that. And I learned a long time ago when I started working security. The more the more people are getting into a business, the more saturated it gets, and eventually the more saturated the business gets, the less fucking money everybody makes in the long run. So regular kois, really, I couldn't see myself doing it. Another thing too, regular kois, full-size kois and shit, they're gonna need big ponds. Obviously, one thing I'm going to have to establish and research while I'm there is what water supply is available to me. What are the conditions of that water? What's the pH of the water? Is there ammonia in the water? Is there nitrites? Is there nitrates in the water? What kind of bacteria is in the water? That sort of thing. Now, if I get, like, for example, they get in potable water trucked in that's already filtered. If that water, for example, is like gone through an RO or an RODI process, I then have to buy stuff to buffer that water to make it good for the animals as well. So kois get very big. They get really, really big. But at the same time, rather than doing koi, I can honestly farm tilapia in a smaller space than I can the koi, and I can both actually have something to eat or make some money off of. So it has to work that way. It has to be something where I can make some money, and it can help me support what I'm doing and support me at the same time. And it could also, and as long as it's also something that contributes to the local community, then that's a plus. So, develop business relations and shit. But yeah, unfortunately, actual kois, too many fucking people are doing it, man. Too many fucking people. It's like selling on Amazon. A lot of people are doing it now. So many people are doing it now. Now there are some fish that you can farm that are rare fish that could make you a lot of money, but they require really, really, really excessive water conditions. For example, flower horns. Flower horn fish, they fucking sell for a fuckload of money. The cheapest I think I've ever seen one was, I saw a shop where I usually go to. They were selling a runt off for like $50. Yeah, so like $50 is like the cheapest I've seen a flower horn, and they can go up to in the hundreds. Now, the problem with the fucking flower horn is they're very territorial. They need extremely clean water, and they're very, very finicky with their food. So it's not a fish that I think would survive in the slabs, especially like with the dramatic temperature fluctuation that I'm assuming happens between those times when, you know, the cold gets to hot and the hot gets to cold. That could kill them really quick. And even now, for example, people who keep flower horns, it's a fucking pain in the ass. Most of those people have to do a daily water change to keep a flower horn, or at the very least, like every 2 or 3 days, they do either a half 50% water change, or they do a whole 100% water change altogether. And as far as I know, everyone who I know keeps them, they have subsystems. A subsystem is ideal, but probably going to be a bitch to pull out there. So, yeah, can't do the koi, can't do really big fancy fish. I mean, I even for a minute thought about, you know, raising arowanas, because arowanas would not only are a really expensive fish that you can make money off of, but they are notorious and vigorous bug eaters, so they'll jump out of their ponds easily just to catch one of them, you know, fucking horse flies and bomber flies and shit. But that's also a fucking problem. If they are jumping up and then smacking themselves into the sand or the ground and whatnot, and then they die, you know, it's just fuck. I just, you know, lost a really expensive fish there. And they do that. You gotta be careful with those fucking arowanas. They'll jump to their deaths in a fucking, even in fucking people's tanks at home. So I'd assume they do it out there as well, especially with all the bugs that are out there, because it's a fucking smorgasbord. There you go, smorgasbord of fucking food for them with all the bugs that are out there, especially in the summer. But all right, guys, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day, or call it a morning for now. So thank you very much for watching. If you guys liked the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and y'all have a great day, okay?